This is the Jim Masters Show. Jim Masters here. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Ruben Roberto Gomez is joining us, award-winning and very popular film, television actor, producer, even singer. Argentine-born, but American by heart as well. He's coming to us from Los Angeles, California, and we really are excited to have him here. You know him from some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and so much more. He's been in Law and Order and General Hospital. He's been on Modern Family. There he is. There's a great shot of him doing his thing on camera. Yeah, he's been in the movie The Graduation, of course. Graduation is another one. And also A House Divided, that original series. And also another fantastic one you may remember. And of course, know, the remake. And there's a little story about Larry King, of course, another fellow broadcaster who I've always admired, and an opportunity to partake in conversation with Larry King and so much more. We're so excited to have him here on the show. We're going to talk about all these great photos and just so much more as we welcome Ruben to our show exclusively. Hope you're doing well. I'm your host, Jim Masters. This is the time to get together and experience good times, great entertainment, and good conversation, poignant moments, and everything else. If this is your first time watching our extensive series, when I say extensive, we're approaching almost 1,000 episodes of this series in almost 3 years' time. And we want to thank everybody who's been watching, supporting, celebrating all around the world. We have an international audience of viewers who call themselves the JMS Lovedies. Those are folks who watch and support and celebrate what we're doing, which is quite unique because we're interactive and we come at you live. And we also have great guests who come from a myriad of different backgrounds: Broadway, Hollywood, television, film, music, stage, sports, culinary arts, inspiration, and everything in between. And that's what's great. And it's very interactive and it's very conversational, and nothing is scripted. There's no teleprompters. We just turn on the cameras, turn on the lights. We welcome you into the JMS Lovely world. And we have a good time. Matter of fact, if you would like to comment while the show is on right now, in our live chat room, we call it the JMS Lovely chat room. You can do that right now when you subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is the one you're watching, Jim Masters TV. Hit that subscribe button. Doesn't cost anything when you do that. Click the notification bell so you never miss any of the episodes. You'll be notified on every episode in advance, so you can join us live or when they're airing otherwise. And you can also comment and say hello to one another, other viewers that are watching right now around the world as the show is on. So we encourage you to do that. And of course, give all the episodes on our YouTube channel that you enjoy a thumbs up, like, leave a comment for us, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hope you're doing well. Extraordinarily busy time for me. We've been really, really busy all over the country. California, we've been in Napa Valley and doing a television project there. And just, I've got a TV shoot early in the morning with a guest that's coming into town, and it's a news program interview. So we're writing scripts, getting ready for that. I had a lot of radio shows to host today, and just a lot of cool things that I do, in the daytime in my full-time work in television and radio. And then we turn on the lights and we join all of you, and you from around the world right here in Lovety Hall. You guys call this Lovety Hall. I agree. It really is. And what we're doing is quite special and unique. We're so excited to welcome Ruben for the first time to the Jim Masters Show series. And I welcome everybody that's commenting. It's good to see all the comments and all the smiley faces. We see regulars. We see new folks joining us. If this is your first time experiencing this entertainment lifestyle celebrity talk show series, we welcome you as well. It's cool to have you here. And it's also cool to have Ruben here as well. As I mentioned, he's an extraordinary actor and producer, wonderful voice as well. Yes, Argentine born, American at heart, Ruben Roberto Gomez has spent the entire adult life he's experienced following his passions. A UCLA alumnus with a master's degree in Spanish literature, but also fluent in Italian, he crooned his way through 2 albums, that's right, by European and South American tours, singing romantic ballads in Spanish in the 1980s and 1990s. Now back to his roots in acting, he's focusing his career in television and film, taking advantage of his ethnically ambiguous looks. He is often mistaken for Middle Eastern, thanks to his Turkish mother, but still able to appear and do voiceovers with an Argentine or Spanish dialect, courtesy of his Spanish grandfather. His ambiguous accent in English gives him the versatility of playing not only European or Middle Eastern roles, but South American as well. Ruben's love of acting began with a theater career as a teenager in Buenos Aires, where, as a well-known director at the time, Marcelo Laval encouraged him to come to the United States to pursue his dreams. The move turned out to be fortuitous, life-changing, as a suggestion, where he not only found representation almost immediately with Carlos Alvarado Agency, but later met and married his American-born actress wife. That's right, Lynn Alana Delaney, with whom he still resides in Los Angeles. Again, as I mentioned, he's been on so many hit shows as a character actor, a guest star, and so much more. Modern Family, Law and Order, Los Angeles. He's been on General Hospital. He's been on Dexter, of course, as well. Here's some more, as I mentioned, Graduation, all kinds of films, all kinds of terrific TV series, A House Divided episodes as well. It's a real honor and a pleasure to have him here. And he's all set and ready to go. We were just laughing. We're having a good time, we like to chat with our guests before the show starts, and we always welcome them. We do a little pre-show chat, sort of like, and we do a sound check, and we chat with the guests beforehand, because sometimes we're meeting for the very first time, so we get to know one another before we even go live. I like to do that with my guests here on the show. So now that we've taken care of all of that, gang, join me in welcoming our illustrious guest, Ruben Roberto Gomez, to the Jim Masters Show live series. It's a real honor and a pleasure to have him here. Ruben, thank you very much for joining us on the program. We welcome you to the Jim Masters Show. It's nice to have you here. Welcome. Can you hear us?
Yes, but the picture is gone. Something happened, but I'm
Your
here.
Your picture is gone?
How are we going to correct that? I don't know.
Something
But
on
I
your
am
end
here,
so sort of
and
happened. We see you. Yeah, you look great. You're in that orange. Is that a sweater or a sweatshirt
I
there?
don't know. I should maybe get my technician, but I don't know if she's available. Uh, I want to thank you, first of all, because I heard so much about your show. And to tell you the truth, I was a little bit nervous because I heard that you are such a good interviewer. And so I don't do that many interviews, but I am very happy to be here. And I thank you for the introduction. That was super nice.
Oh, thank you very much. It's an honor and a pleasure. I've always admired your passion and your tenacity and your brilliance and everything you've done. You've taken on everything 110%, Ruben. You're very passionate about everything, and you're a brilliant actor. You're a wonderful producer. You've got a spectacular voice as well, which people may know you first from singing. Others may know you from television, some of those iconic shows that I mentioned, and others maybe from film. How did you first get started? Obviously, Argentine born. What were those inspirations for you early on as a kid to want to get into entertainment and the arts and to perform for everybody, Ruben?
Well, when I was 16 years old, I was very lucky that in Buenos Aires, there was a place kind of like comparable to the Actors Studio in New York with the gentleman that you mentioned, Marcelo Lavalle.
Yeah.
He was a director and a coach, and he usually didn't take kids my age, but I didn't know that. So I have heard of him, I read about him, and I thought, why not go see him? He was a famous person. I didn't think anything of it. I just walked into the theater. There were, the actors were on the stage, and I recognized him. He was there. And everybody stopped and they looked at me, and I said, oh, I want to be with you guys. And that was my introduction. And believe it or not, that guy must have thought that I was crazy, but he accepted me as a actor to study with them. And I was there for 3 years
Mm.
doing theater. and we did a lot of improvisation. He liked improvisation, so I really enjoyed it. That's how I started. But I wanted to come to the United States when I was 10 years old, and I couldn't because I was a little too young. So after the 3 years of being lucky enough with this gentleman, he said to me, you remind me of Tony Curtis. You look like Tony Curtis. You need to go to Hollywood. So I came to Hollywood with a friend and with $5. And $5 wasn't very much.
No.
So what did we do? Well, there was a very nice bus station in Los Angeles, the Greyhound bus station. There were a lot of people there. So if you slept on the benches, nobody thought anything of it. Nobody paid attention to you. So that was my beginning in Los Angeles. I was lucky that after a week, I ran into an Argentine in the street whose girlfriend owned a travel agency. She took us there. They found us an apartment. And that night, they took us to a place in Hollywood that was called the Argentine Club. Man, that was exciting because everybody was from Argentina, but they spoke English. And I was so jealous. I didn't know. Well, I knew how to say, okay, thank you, please, a few things like that. So my introduction to the United States was wonderful because, I loved Los Angeles. Los Angeles in those days, it was fantastic. And Hollywood was so pretty. So I thought this was my place, and I was very happy to be here. That was my introduction to Los Angeles. A lot of things happened since then, obviously, no? But that's how I did. I was 19.
So you really stretched out that $5, huh?
Wow.
Did you spend $1 at a time, or did you spend the whole five all at once?
If you want to hear something, it's the truth. When I tell the people, say, but you guys were crazy. I totally came with a friend. My friend in Argentina and I used to get together, and with our friends, if we have a glass of whiskey or cognac or something, we have $5. What do you think he does with the $5? He goes and buys a small bottle of whiskey. He says, look, we don't have any money, nothing to eat. And if we have something to drink, we'll feel good. And so what, $5, So that's what we did with the $5. So we ended up with nothing.
Right.
That's why we slept at the Greyhound bus station.
Greyhound bus, yeah.
Because it was easy to do. There were other people sleeping there. A lot of young people that travel by Greyhound,
Exactly.
And I was young. I looked so innocent. So that was what happened with the $5. I was lucky enough that I think that I was lucky in my life that I always found nice people that for one way or another, even they feel sorry for me, I don't know, but they wanted to help me.
Yeah.
In this case, my friend and I.
Yeah.
And they helped us in many ways. Oh, yes.
So when you came, what was your hope? What was your dream? Of course, growing up, initially in Argentina, you have this vision of America and of New York and Hollywood and just what America's all about. What was your hope? What was your vision? And what were some of the things you were hoping to do when you arrived?
Well, when I arrived, we were so naive that in the plane, in the way to Miami, we went to Miami, the cheapest ticket was to Miami, and then by bus. But we thought, no big deal. We get to Los Angeles, we get a job, we rent an apartment, but we didn't think about the things in between. Where you're going to sleep, what you're going to eat, none of those things. So even though we were kind of lost, we were in awe. I loved everything. I always loved the United States. Well, I have to tell you, I grew up going to the movies. To me, the movies was my life. I would go to the movies alone when I was a young kid. I had my favorite actors, and I wanted my life to be like the movies.
Yeah.
Especially like those movies where the teenagers in high school owned cars. They had cars, real cars. And they went to school in their own car. I didn't even have a bicycle to go to high school. So my impression of the United States was wonderful. There was anything that we didn't like. I wanted to be an actor. But at that moment, I realized that I needed to survive. I needed to work, to find a place to sleep, and all those things. And then someday, I had the hopes that maybe I would be able to do what I wanted to. I
Mm.
always wanted to be an actor since I was a kid. I still want to be an actor. I want to work.
Well,
I'll work
when you
anytime.
were starting out in Los Angeles, were you taking odd jobs just to bring money in to get by while you were pursuing the career?
Yes, I have to tell you, my luck will show you this. In the Argentine club, I met a guy from Argentina. He had been here a year. He spoke English. We went to live with him. And he had a girlfriend who was the personal director of a hotel called the Beverly Hilton Hotel in Beverly Hills. No, I never heard of the Beverly Hilton. To me,
Mm.
it means nothing. So he took me there. The girl must have been 23, 24 years old. She saw me, she explained to me, she spoke some Spanish. You want to be a busboy? I want to be anything. So I became a busboy. But I became a busboy in the Beverly Hilton, in a room called the Rendezvous Room for lunch,
Mhm.
with all the movie stars used to come and have lunch.
Yes.
That was my introduction, my job. They gave me the uniform. It was like being a general. I had buttons here and there, and oh, it was so nice. And because I knew all these people that came there, I couldn't believe it. This girl called me one time and she says, "How about a tuxedo? What about a coffee?" That's what I understood. I understood the word coffee. I said,
Yes.
"Oh, I bring her coffee." And she said, "No, no, let me tell you that's good coffee." And I thought, so I called the waiter I was working with and he says, "Can we help you?" And she explained, and he says to me, because he spoke Spanish, he says, "Yeah, she wants coffee, but on a clean cup. Bring her another cup."
Yeah.
So, and he said, "Do you know who she is?" Uh, and she was an actress, very well-known actress, Jane Powell, and she was a singer and the sweetest girl. She was so nice to me. She realized I didn't speak the language, so that was a great job. I worked there for several months, and I got tips. The tips gave me money to eat. So that was my first job, but I did many different jobs. I lost count. Many different things. Wherever they pay 5 cents more an hour, we
Yeah.
would go.
Jane Powell was wonderful. I had an opportunity to meet her, actually at the home of, dear friends of mine, uh, David Friedman and Sean Monica. David is, a renowned composer. He did a lot of the music for Aladdin and just so much more. And Sean as well is a wonderful pastor and minister. And we were at their home, and seated on the couch was the incomparable, legendary Jane Powell, who was a friend of theirs, and she lived in Connecticut. And she we just lost her about a year or so ago, and she was as effervescent and elegant and poised and beautiful inside and out as she always had been. It must have been wonderful having an opportunity to, have her in your presence and her in yours, huh?
Oh, yes, for me it was, imagine, I had just arrived from Argentina. I
Yeah.
was dreaming about
Yeah,
Hollywood.
and here
And
you
then
are.
all of a sudden, I'm in a restaurant where Lee Marvin comes to eat.
Yeah.
And people that I knew, not personally, but I knew who they were. So to me, this seemed like a very, very strange thing happening.
Yeah.
Jane Powell was sweet, very nice. So working in that place was an incredible experience. I got to see, and then what happened was that within a few days, they had a very big room. They used to call the International Ballroom. And at the time, they were going to have parties for the Oscars in that room. So they got all the busboys to help fix all the tables. But while I was there fixing tables, many of the people that were going to be on the stage that night, they came to rehearse. So they were walking around talking, drinking, and walking around us, and I couldn't concentrate. I was looking at all these people, and it was wonderful. It was just amazing to see all these famous people like real people, and everybody was nice. So my opinion of the United States was even better than when I was in Argentina because I was feeling very good and happy.
Yeah.
I tell you, I didn't miss my family at all. I forgot I had a family.
Yeah. You were sort of adopted into America by this other family. Who were the folks, that you're a brilliant actor, and I mentioned producer and singer as well. Who are some of the fellow actors and actresses and those and other singers perhaps that you always admired, as you were coming up the ranks, as you were watching movies and television and listening to great singers? Who were those folks that inspired you along the way, Ruben?
Well, I had to say that the one that inspired me the most because I listened to him a lot was Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra was unique. Uh, I liked him a lot, but because I was young and I also looked up to some young singers, there were some that I liked, like Polanka, Pat Boone. Those guys were famous and they were singers. Now, I didn't know what kind of style I had of singing, but you see, when I was a teenager, I used to sing. So I knew a lot of songs in Spanish. Oh, I sing in Italian too, so I knew both. But of course, I wanted to learn how to sing in English. So I learned a few. I never had the opportunity of performing with English songs. Someday, I hope somebody will give me the chance to do it. But of course, I've been singing for a few years. I've gone to Europe and tour. I made recordings.
What
And
type of material, for those who aren't familiar, in terms of the genre, do you like to perform and sing?
I would call them ballads.
Yeah.
Ballads.
Yeah.
And there was a singer that eventually came to Argentina to the United States a lot later, but he became well known. Was Julio Iglesias.
Oh,
And
sure.
Julio Iglesias, I know all his songs, and I admire him. He was a great singer, and I sing the same type of music, ballads, romantic ballads. That's what I like to sing. I never wanted to be a rock singer like Rod Stewart or anybody else. Mine was romantic ballads.
You have
And
a fantastic speaking voice. There's a certain, I've studied voice and I do a lot of voice work myself. And I've been on the air for a long time on television, radio with my voice. And there's a certain texture, quality. There's almost a sandy sort of texture to your voice, but yet at the same time, there's a warmth to your voice that comes through at the same time, which I think is fantastic.
well, thank you for saying that. I have to tell you that among the things that I did because of luck and other people wanting to help me, somebody recommended me to a gentleman who I didn't know who he was. His name is Seth Riggs. Seth Riggs was the number one coach for the big stars in Hollywood. And I went to his house. Of course, I had already done a couple of records and I was singing and I had been in Spanish television. So he kind of knew who I was in a sense. He didn't know me, but he knew that I could sing. So he took me as another one of the people that were learning with him. And I have to tell you something. There were some very important people that were going to Seth Riggs. He was number one. And so I was very lucky that I learned maybe how to use my voice a little bit different or better. But I always enjoy singing. Maybe, who knows? I might get the I don't know, the wish to sing a couple of lyrics here. Well, no, I wouldn't do it because I don't want the people that are all over the world watching this. What this guy's gonna sing now? I don't know.
Actually, Ruben, they absolutely love when guests do. If they hear that they sing, they usually ask in the comment section, the Lovity comment section, is he going to sing? Is she going to sing? Are they going to sing? So if you want to sing something, it could be anything. By all means, it could be Spanish, Italian, English, whatever you want. Feel free so they can hear your beautiful voice.
I would like to make a little bit, maybe a couple of verses of both English, Spanish and Italian. There is a
Terrific.
very famous song in Spanish that all the big singers sing it and learned a long time ago. The name is Sabor a mí. Sabor a mí means that you taste like me.
Mm,
Maybe in kisses,
yes, right. All right.
So the song says, tanto tiempo disfrutamos este amor, nuestras almas se acercaron tanto así, que yo guardo tu sabor, pero tú llevas también sabor a mí. No pretendo ser tu dueño, no soy nada, yo no tengo vanidad. Bueno, hasta ahí va. That's the Spanish one. There
That's
is a song.
really beautiful. That's really nice. What a tease that is. Now everybody wants more.
There is a song in English that I keep saying English. My wishful thinking is
Right.
in Italian. Someday I'm gonna sing a song that says "Strangers in the Night."
Yes.
Ah,
And we will have you back on the show when you
I'm
perfect
saving.
that,
I'm
and
saving that
you will
one.
debut that right here for us.
Okay, I will.
Strangers in the night.
There is an Italian song that Americans know because I think it became popular here. Um,
What is this one?
Volare.
Oh, volare. Oh,
Credo che un sogno così non ritorni mai più. Mi dipingevi le mani, le facce di blu. Poi d'improvviso venivo dal mento rapito e incominciavo a volare nel cielo infinito. Volare, oh, oh, cantare, oh, oh, oh. And that's it.
da 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 dun, da da dun, da dun, dun, da dun. Oh, yeah, very nice.
Well,
Very nice.
thank you for
All
allowing
right.
me to sing in your show. And
Abs-
to the people, what is the name that you have for them?
They are the Jim Master Show Lovities. The
And to all those
Lovities.
lavities that had to put up with my singing, um,
Oh, are
well,
you kidding?
it's
They're
just one of
loving
the things
it.
that I wanted to do. That's all.
What came first for you? Did singing come before the acting in your life?
Yes, the singing did. Um, the singing did, and that's how I recorded. Uh, a couple of good things happened to me while I was singing. I performed, for example, started in California. Believe it or not, there were like over 100 radio stations, Spanish radio stations
Oh,
in
yeah.
California.
Oh, sure,
And
absolutely.
they all wanted me to come and sing one of my songs. Well, the one that they were playing, you know. So I did a tour of California. But I was very lucky that somehow somebody from Sweden heard one of my songs and took it to a city called Uppsala. Uppsala is outside of Stockholm, and it's a university town. It's famous for being a university town. Uh, they told me that they invited me, they wanted me to sign so that they could sell my records there. Of course, I signed, of course. So my wife and I went to Stockholm, and they took us to the university. And boy, It was fantastic, well received. Everybody knew this song, but it was in Spanish.
Mm.
So because of that, and while I was there, I don't know, maybe 2, 3 days, they took us to a discotheque in the evening where all the students, all the young people were there.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And they played one of my songs.
Mm.
And then they stopped and they announced that I was there. And it was great. The welcome that I received was fantastic.
Oh, boy.
And aside from that, because of that, they invited me to sing at a private club that I had never heard of course, called Valentino.
Mm.
It was a very classic for very special people. And I went and I performed and I sang. And it was fantastic. So I came back to California feeling really good about myself.
Yes.
That was an incredible experience for me. And it was because of singing. But I always wanted to be an actor. When I was young here, there was a coach in Hollywood called Larry Parks. There was an actor named Kent McCord, and Kent McCord used to be in one of those shows
Oh,
with
yeah.
cops, two highway patrol cops, and he was one of them. He was my
Yes.
friend, and he took me to him. So I started taking classes with him. And acting is, my grandmother told me, if you want to be an actor, be a plumber. Plumbers will eat. Actors starve. It's difficult to be an actor. Everybody wants to be an actor. Yeah, it's true. You know how many actors there are that would like to work every day. Well,
Yes.
that we always want to work.
Yes.
And it's not, well, maybe sometimes it's the money. You need the money. But if you're an actor and you like to act, you want to be in the studio every day. I want to be working at anything, everything. You give me one line, I'm there.
Exactly. Have you done voiceover work too? Narrations? Again, you have such a wonderful, unique sound. There, like I said, there's a warmth to it. There's an authoritative sound, and sort of like a sandy, resonant is the right word for it. A resonance, but it isn't an aggressive in your face resonance. It's a softer tone that has a confidence in it with a warmth and I'm just enjoying, I love, as somebody who uses my voice for a living as well, I love when I hear other voices that I gravitate to, and I could listen to you, if you were narrating something, a documentary, or have you done any voiceover work?
Not a lot, but I have. The very first time that I did it was thanks to the producer of my album, because he was from Chile
Yeah.
and he knew, uh, he worked with the big musicians here. So he called me one day and he said, Ruben, they need somebody with an Argentine accent to do the voiceover for a French water commercial. The French people came here to do it. And I forget the name of the water because it's a famous water, one of the first ones. So I did the voiceover for Gabriela Sabatini, which was a very famous and number one tennis player in Argentina. And she was going to do the commercial for the water. So I played her father, and I did that. So because of that, once in a while, I would get called to do others. But it wasn't something that I was promoting myself. It was that they knew I did it, and if somebody knew me. But recently, about maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I worked with a gentleman who is very, very good producer that does all kinds of things. And I had worked with him in one of his episodes called Decker. I think I did 2 episodes.
Of Decker, right? Exactly.
Yes.
Very popular series. How did that happen? How did you end up on Decker? And
Oh, I was on
we're showing Decker on the screen right
You
now.
know,
Yeah.
that's a good question. These are things happen. My wife and I produced about 5, 6 years ago. the remake. The remake is a movie that my wife wrote. She directed. We are in it.
That's fantastic.
And we have some really well-known actors in our movie. We wanted to have people of a certain age that people would know.
Didn't you have Larry King involved as well?
Oh yeah, Larry was.
We're showing the picture of the two of you with Larry, who
Yeah,
was
Larry
a
was
broadcast
incredible.
legend. Yes. I miss Larry King. I miss his show when he had it on CNN.
Oh,
Uh,
I watched him all the time too.
Anytime anything would happen, like if there was a passing of, like right now, he'd be talking about Lisa Marie Presley, and in the news things, he'd be so relevant and topical when his show was on at 9 p.m. on CNN. And I just miss that sort of talk show style, which we're trying to resurrect here with the Jim Master Show, old school Dick Cavett, Larry King, conversational Johnny Carson, with maybe a modern vibe, modern twist to it. Because I think we're missing that sort of warmth and conversational style that a Larry King had. For you, what was it like bringing in a broadcast legend like Larry King into the mix?
Well, I have to tell you this. It was thanks to my wife because she wrote a scene for us in the movie where we were interviewed by Larry King. So she says, we need Larry King so he can interview us. So we found out through, I don't remember who, some friend, that Larry King had breakfast every morning in Beverly Hills in this coffee shop with his buddies. And so Lynn went, took the script. She walks in, and the guys are there with Larry. And she asked if she could talk to him. And he said, yes. What can I do for you? She said, Mr. King, I wrote a script. And she just told him a little bit, or very little, no, but we have a scene for you. We would like to know if you would work with us. He says, oh, that's great. What role do I play? And Lynn says, well, you play Larry King. He
Yeah.
goes, oh, I wish I was playing something else. They always want me to play Larry King. She says, well, that's okay. Give me the script. So he didn't look at the script. So my wife said goodbye, thank you. He was going to call her. She took about 3 steps. Larry calls her and he says, look, I don't need to read it. I'll do it. Just talk to my agent. And that was Larry King coming to work with us.
Oh, he was, I knew 2 people that knew him personally as well. Jeffrey Evans, who was involved in sort of the promotion of in Chamber of Commerce with Beverly Hills. And we had lunch at a couple of the restaurants. I was on a TV shoot in Los Angeles a couple of times, and I would meet him in Beverly Hills, would have lunch, and he would always be talking about how he was going to the home of Larry King, to see him. And this is when Larry was not as well. He had had a heart attack at the time. And then another person who was a brilliant producer and writer from New Orleans, and I interviewed her in my professional work, and she had co-written a book with him, and they couldn't have said anything sweeter about Larry, that he was always, he was like a curmudgeon. He was a real sort of, he was definitely a Dodgers fan, but that goes back to when he was
Yes.
from Brooklyn Dodgers, the original, and they went to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
He was a real New York spirit, and had that sort of attitude and way of thinking, but he also was, kind-hearted soul, wasn't he?
He was a sweet, sweet man. He was a real person. In my opinion, Larry King was Larry King. He wasn't playing anybody. That's the way he was. And he was very nice with us. In between takes, he would like to talk to us and talk about different things. We really enjoyed having him. Now, what happened with, we go back to the voiceovers. What happened was that in Decker, in the show Decker, Sally Kellerman
Oh, another
had
fabulous
the
person.
main role of the wife of the president. And Sally Kellerman was in our movie.
And she did a lot of fabulous voiceover work
Oh,
too. She had one of those exquisite voices.
she was a great singer. She
Yes.
performed. she went around the country singing. Well, what happened is that when she went to Decker, and because she was in the whole series, one day she was there, and uh, they needed an actor, a Latin actor who spoke English, to play a certain role in one of the episodes. She says, "Well, you've seen the remake?" And they, "No." So she brought the movie, and she showed the movie to the crew, to the actors, and she said, "That guy, why don't you ask him?" So they called me for an audition. I went, and they booked me. So that's how I got to be there. But Mr. Heidecker, who produces a lot of good things, decided to do an animated version of Decker.
Yes.
And he was doing the pilot. And the main bad lead was going to be Dracula. Ah. So he
You do
knew me.
that well, Ruben.
He knew me. So he asked me, he said, "You want to come and read for Dracula?" Yeah. So I'm in the booth doing my stuff, reading it. He says, "Can you laugh like Dracula?" "Sure, I can laugh like Dracula." And I did, real loud. And everybody loved it. And they say, "Well, this is the way we want you to scream and for Dracula." So I ended up in the pilot playing Dracula. The biggest surprise for me with this was that each character of this movie, they had people make him into us.
Oh, really?
So all of a sudden, when I get to see Dracula for the first time, that's me. And all the other actors, the other parts or the roles look like them, including Tim Heidecker and all the other actors.
Mm-hmm.
It was incredible what they did. So yes, I did the voiceover for Dracula, and I hope if he needs another monster, he remembers me, because I could be really bad.
What other monster would you like to do if there was another option?
Oh, I don't know. I never thought of it, but depends what they want.
A werewolf, perhaps, or Frankenstein?
Oh, yes, I remember Boris Karloff. Oh, I used to walk at night whenever I went to see a Dracula or a Frankenstein movie in Buenos Aires at night with my friends. We would never walk on the sidewalk,
Yeah.
only in the middle of the street, because it was the only place where there was light
Yes.
for the cars, because
Yes.
we were afraid of what we watched. And poor Boris Karloff, they said that he was the sweetest man, sweetest person, but a
Oh,
great
yeah. Absolutely right. So that was a great opportunity, huh, to do that?
Yes, it was. Oh, it was nice. I really enjoyed it very, very much. Anything that is new is a challenge, but if you can do
Yes.
it and they like it, ooh, it's double whammy.
Double whammy, exactly. How did you now so tell us a little bit more about the remake for folks who are hearing about it for the first time. It's you
Okay.
and of course your lovely wife Lynn. And as I mentioned, you've had Larry King and other fantastic people on there as well. And we've got another great photo on the screen we're showing here.
And
No,
this photo right
can you
now,
see now you're able to see the screen now, right?
yes, I get
Oh,
to see the
good.
screen, my wife, myself, and Patricia Darbo. Patricia Darbo is a great actress from Days of Our Life. A
That's
lot of
right.
people know her because she's so famous. Now,
Yeah.
what happened with us in the remake was that we needed people of a certain age because it's a love story, but not of young people, of people our ages. My wife and I play the romantic couple. So we needed to start casting. We didn't know that many people. But I remember one time I said to Lynn, you know, I watch TV so much and I've seen so many movies. Let me think of people that I like, that I knew. Let's see what happened. And June Lockhart came to mind right away
Joan
because
Lockhart,
I used to watch
yes.
Lassie and Lost in Space.
Lassie, Lost in Space. We had Angela Cartwright on the show who played the daughter on Lost in
Oh,
Space.
yes, of
She
course.
talked about June being just a very classy, elegant, wonderful,
What a
wonderful
lady.
person. Yeah.
So, how do you get June Lockhart? I called her agent. See, nobody knows me, but I told him who I was, what we wanted to do. She says, "Well, she doesn't want to work anymore, but I'll tell her. I'll tell her." So we gave them the script, and so we had told them that she was going to play my wife's mother in the movie. So the agent called, and she said, "June loves it. She wants to play the mother," and that for us was incredible good news. She wanted to meet us at the Sheraton Hotel for tea, and the three of us met there. And as soon as she saw us, she saw my wife, and she says, "Now I know why you want me to play your mother. You look like my daughter.
That's
That's
right.
why." So we got to her. And the
Wow.
same way, I thought of Sally Kellerman, and she was a doll. She worked with us too. Uh, but we met another guy through another actor friend. You probably remember. His name is Robert Romanus
Oh,
from
sure.
the movie um, uh, uh,
It's been in many. Yeah.
Richmond Hyde.
Yes.
But no, not bad times. Uh, oh, hard times at Richmond High.
At Ridgemont High. Yes.
Yes, he's the bad guy there. So we got in touch with him and he came and he's in our movie too. So we ended up having a great group of actors. And the remake is a story of love. Um, should I tell you, try a little bit of what it is the movie's about?
Absolutely. And also let us know where people can see it too.
Well,
Sure.
they can see it right now in Amazon and in any of the streamings,
Yeah.
any of the stream, but in Amazon they can see it. It's the remake. Um, it's the story of two young actors, very young, that they make a love story movie in Hollywood. And the movie became really famous, really famous. She's American, the actor is an Italian actor, and after they make the movie, they fall in love and they want to get married, and the guy disappears.
Mm.
And I mean, he disappeared. Nobody knows where he is. She's heartbroken in
Yeah.
real life,
Yeah.
and she continued her career. We don't know much about the Italian guy, but then all of a sudden, we found out that many years ago, the Italian guy had been working without papers in Hollywood. And right after he made the remake, he was detained by immigration and deported.
Mm.
And he had to go back to Italy. So he couldn't come back for 10 years because he had been here illegally. So for 10 years, he wrote a lot of letters to the girl that he played the movie with, but she never answered. One director in Hollywood decided, why don't we make a remake of that movie with the young actors, but now, the way they look now, older guys. The actors here and the Italian guy who happens to be a well-known actor in Italy now. So they got us together. But what happened was they didn't know that she hated me because we were going to get married and I disappeared. So she didn't want to make the movie with me. So it wasn't easy in the studio to make the remake. But we made the remake. That's a story. And well, I don't want to tell you what happened because it has
People
a
to see
Hollywood
it.
ending. That's all I can tell you.
Yes.
Okay, I have to tell you something about Hollywood endings. When I was a young kid, I wanted to go to the movies to see American movies. But I also saw a lot of Italians. In Argentina, we got a lot of Italian movies. But I always wanted a happy ending. Happy. I don't want to cry in the end. I want to see, like Hollywood, Rock Hudson and Doris Day. So anyway, our movie is a really fun, nice movie that you will enjoy. It's a love story of not of young people, but people of a certain age also fall in love.
That's right.
and they have dreams. So we had a great cast, great cast. We love making that movie. People are asking, why don't you make a remake of the remake?
The remake. You're right.
Really? Well, I don't know.
Is there thoughts about that? About
Well,
continuing the
what's
story?
in a way, yes. And what's interesting is once in a while, one of those actors called and said, Ruben and Lynn, did you write the script for the? I want to do it again with you guys. You
Yes.
know, uh,
Right.
my wife is a very prolific writer. She's always writing, um, and she hasn't finished it. But yes, we probably someday before we get too old, we do it. But for now, if you guys that are watching and listening to me, I think you would really enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's a fun, it's a fun movie.
Heartwarming story, and right, exactly, which we need more of that these days, right? There's a lot of negative
Yeah,
stuff out there, and violent and loud stuff, and you gotta sort of have the other side, the antithesis of that
yeah.
sometimes come your way to settle things out and just make you feel good. You know what I mean? We need some more good positive stories as
That's how
well.
I felt when I
Yeah.
went to see those movies. That's why I grew up with those movies. You know?
John Ortiz says, "Go see the remake. Great film, very well done." John Ortiz is watching, and his says, "Hello and nice show, Jim
Thank you.
Masters." Thank you very much, John. We really appreciate your here and your watching. And he also says, "Roberto and Lynn are one of the nicest people you can ever meet, and good friends, and a pleasure to know." Thank you very much. Kind of you to say that. A lot of folks chiming in here. Special note for you from Danielle. You want to interpret for us?
Little Ruben, you are a genius.
That's a good interpretation and translation. That is really, really nice. They also loved your singing. A lot of them. Colin is here.
Oh,
Colin said he
that's
sings better than I do. I played in a few bands. I was told not to sing, just play.
oh, oh.
LOL, which is and he,
Singing.
Colin also said to hope to guess work with you both, cast them in a limited series that he wrote, historical drama. They'd be both great for those parts. Discussing it with you guys. That's wonderful. Thanks, Colin, and everybody that's in here saying hello, all the viewers and the lovedies here. Colin also says, Ruben, Colin here, I have not forgotten you in Hammer of God. Hope it goes.
Thank you. I hope so too. I would love to do that. Yes.
That's really nice. That's fantastic, huh? So a lot of great opportunities, but so many things you've been in too. Modern Family. How did that happen?
Well, it was a New Year's show, um, and it takes place in Palm Springs. And the guys were looking for a nightclub, a club where they could feel very comfortable. And they tried many and they didn't like it. And I was supposed to be the singer and piano player in this nice nightclub. So when they walk in, I'm there at the piano, and they said, "Oh, this is the kind of place that we want to be. Oh, we spend New Year's here." So it's a very short scene that I have with them, but we celebrate drinking at the bar, and it was so nice working with them. Really nice guys. For me, it was first time meeting them, uh, but it was something that you always guard, you save in your mind with love, because it's something that you enjoy doing, and working with people that are nice. Of
Yeah.
course, I never work with anybody. Actors are really nice people, you know. Um, I I don't remember ever working with anybody that wasn't pleasant or sweet or nice. And if I was in somewhere where maybe I was too new for something, and there was somebody with a little bit more experience than me, or maybe a lot more experience, come and say, "Come, Ruben," and they would give me advice. They would tell me how to do this, how to do that, and that's wonderful. I tell you, June Lockhart
Mm.
was a sweet, sweet lady. You'll see her in the role. She's really nice. I think she even says one bad word in this movie, which is unusual for her, right?
Right.
Oh, I remember she gave me a lot of advice. She liked me. As a matter of fact, we were very lucky with Lynn a few years ago, maybe 6 years ago or something. They were celebrating her birthday, and it was in between two hotels in Beverly Hills. There is like an area for people to drink, and they have tables. What they did is they put a lot of tables and chairs, and there was a jazz band, and celebrated her birthday.
Mm.
So we were there with her, and it was really wonderful. She especially invited us to come and spend the time with her. So I always have a real love for her in my life. She told some really funny stories about Hollywood
Yeah.
that I cannot repeat.
Repeat on.
She says, "Don't tell people."
Do not tell these. You have to take it to the grave with you, but I will tell
Of
you,
course.
Ruben.
No,
You
she was a sweet lady, sweet lady.
fabulous, right? General Hospital too, the beloved soap opera. Tell us about that.
Well, I was very, very lucky. There is a casting director that I would love to work for him again, and is Mr. He knows his name. I hope he's listening. I invited him.
Yeah.
Uh, the casting director for General Hospital,
Yes.
Mark Teschner,
Yeah.
is a very sweet man, very nice man, and he allowed us to have him in our movie to play the casting director. Of course, he played it really well,
Mm.
but he he really is a nice guy. I I was one time asked to play a small part in one of the episodes, and I did it, and it was very, very nice. I was very happy to be there. I wish I wish, like everybody else, I wish I could have another one, because it's a good place to work. It's so nice, and General Hospital is an amazing place to work. He has won, I don't know, maybe 50 Emmys or maybe
Yeah.
more.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's very interesting, super nice man.
Right.
And he has a daughter who, one of these days, is going to be a star.
Mm.
That's all I'm going to say.
Hmm.
Very nice girl.
That is fantastic. That is beautiful. Nice comment from Joanne Doherty Downer says, so fortunate to have these lovely people in my life. Can't say enough about them. Ruben was a bonus after being friends with Lynn since kindergarten. Love, love, love them. See, when you have three loves, we call that lovity on the Jim Master Show.
Oh, okay, I got
And
it.
Jen Barrett, welcome to the show, everybody who is brand new on our show, joining us for the first time on the Jim Master Show Entertainment Lifestyle Celebrity Talk Show series. We welcome you, and all of our faithful lovities. Merlin in Canada saying, "Nice smile, Ruben." And Jen Barry in Pennsylvania says, "Ruben, you are now a lovity." So
Thank you.
we say it all the time. There's Oscars, Academy Awards, and Emmys and Tellys, and there's Tony Awards and Grammys and Peabodys. How does it feel to be called a lovety on the Jim Masters Show? This is like
Oh,
the pinnacle of your career now, isn't it?
well, I have to tell you something. I wanted to be in your show, and I I didn't know what to expect. But you remind me of those persons, those people that you mentioned that I grew up with. Johnny Carson, all this, Larry King. You have that type of a show. You put people at ease. You are, I mean, who wouldn't enjoy being here, like me, sitting here, being in your show. You are the type of person that we want to have as friends, and you know, you probably know that you are yourself. And I think it shows, and we all appreciate it. I am very, very happy to be here, and I thank you.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine. Thanks for those kind words. And as my father still says, has always said, when told us this when we were kids, one of those life lessons, he says, Jim, whenever anybody says something kind or nice to you, ask them to please put it in writing and address it management.
Good.
It's
I had,
his
do you
sense
mind?
of humor.
I want to tell you something. You reminded me. At a certain age, you learn these things. And one thing that I do, and I've done it many times, if I go, for example, like um, I had to go recently to get a new phone, and I was in Santa Monica in this huge store, and I had this young girl that was taking care of me, and I don't know much about these things, so she was very patient, and she was super nice, super nice. And I told her, I said, they're so lucky to have you here. You're such a good girl. You make people feel at ease. She says, "Oh, I wish you would tell my manager." And I said, "Where is your manager?" So she called the manager,
She called
and I
him.
said, "I'm sorry to take time off from your work." I said, "But I just want to have to tell you, I have a wonderful experience, and this girl, you should keep her forever. She's sweet, she's nice, she knows what she's doing. She helped me a lot, and I can highly recommend her for anything. Thank you for having her." I do that at the bank. I do it at Trader Joe's. I do it when I have the chance. I do it.
Yes.
That's something that we all want it. We all need it. Not
Yes.
just them. We do too.
That's right.
Everybody does.
We all do, right? We all do. And that's a beautiful way to put it, Ruben. And again, just another reason why people appreciate you, and because you're real, you're authentic, you've got your heart on your sleeve, you care, and you're one of the good guys. And I think people recognize that in the characters that you play, the authenticity, but also in the fact that you're real. I appreciate the words that you shared in reference to me and my work, because it's exactly, you were spot on as far as saying what people see of me doing this series or my professional work in television, radio, and other areas of the business. It's me. If you see me in the supermarket, like you say, the Trader Joe's, and what you're going to get is what you're seeing now.
Yeah.
And, of course, maybe with the lights on and being on set and everything, maybe we heighten things just a tad, because it is entertainment, it is information, it is a flow and a rhythm. But generally, it is, if you're blessed to be able to express the essence of who you are through your work and do what you love and love what you do, and it connects with, lifts up, and inspires other people, regardless of whatever it is you do in life, it's a beautiful thing. It's a gift, isn't it? We're the blessed ones.
I think that, I always tell people I take after my mother. My mother was like this. My mother was exactly like I am now, but I think I take after her, and I do it from my heart. Maybe that's why I've had people that have helped me when I was young. Of course, I was so naive, and sometimes I think I'm still a little bit, but who knows? Maybe it's not too bad to lose it completely. I still have,
Right.
I still have, I trust people until
Yeah.
I don't trust them anymore. But I
Yeah.
do trust people, and I like to think that that they have goodness in them. I like people that are nice. If
Yeah.
somebody asks me what kind of people you like, I like people that are nice. That's all.
Right.
I don't know if that says anything.
No, that's I'm right there with you. The kind, empathetic, nice people are what I gravitate towards as well. And I think we, need to celebrate more of them and just let them know that it's okay to stay that way. You don't have to become cynical and mean and all to get by in life, even though some people think you have to do that, push and shove. And
Yeah,
no, I never did that. And that's not, maybe sometimes you feel like you're rowing the boat in the opposite direction. But I think in the end, you stick true to yourself and who you are.
yeah,
There's lots of wonderful things that come your way in terms of beautiful people, and people want to be around you and you want to be around them and you want to share. And that's truly what it's all about, as you know so well, my friend. You've had an opportunity to be in so many great things. Another is Law and Order LA. Tell us about that.
oh, that was one of the first ones that I did. And I remember, I think we did that one at Warner Brothers. And I was supposed to play an attorney in a nightclub. We were celebrating one of the attorney's birthday. And I was supposed to do something with the presents. I'd receive the presents and talk to people. But the funny thing was, I didn't know much about the show. And when we're walking from where we had been in our rooms, it was a distance to walk toward the nightclub, which was inside the studio. And I see a sign outside, and it said Lola. Well, Lola. It sounded Spanish to me, Lola. I didn't know what Lola was. And when I'm inside, I said to somebody, "Why do they call it Lola?" I said, "This is LA, Los Angeles." And those were the initials. And I thought they were talking about somebody named Lola, because in Spanish it's the lady's name. So my experience was then everybody made fun of me. I didn't know the show.
Yeah.
I knew the name, but not the initials.
But not the LA, right?
I wanted to mention something. I don't know if we have time.
Absolutely. You have plenty of time.
One of the things that I've been doing in the last few years is something that I really always want to do. I've been very lucky that I got connected with some incredible, great people to work as SAG-AFTRA in the Actors Union.
Yes, very important.
A year ago, I was elected a convention delegate.
Congratulations.
And that was my first surprise, because I won. And when I looked at how many people voted for me, I said to my wife, "Oh my God, there were thousands of people voting for me. I didn't know I know that many people." They voted for me. It was an incredible feeling. Now, I was introduced to this because I talked to somebody. There is an actress that I love very much. She's my mentor. She's Lee Purcell.
She was a guest on our show. She was here. She's wonderful, isn't she?
Oh, Lee is fantastic. And she knows that I love her in a good way. And I told her, I said, I want to run for office in the union. She said, why don't you run for delegate? And I said, but how can I do that? So I did. Now I became a delegate. Now, when the time came for SAG-AFTRA start needing people for national committees, I was able to put my name in 2 national committees, and I was accepted. So I belong to 2 national committees of SAG-AFTRA, the union that has more than 160,000 actors.
Yes.
That's how many actors we have. I am a member of one. They have my heart. The seniors committee is something that I have, obviously, is for seniors, people of a certain age, actors. What we're trying to do very simply is try to create more work more roles for people of a certain age, actors. There's so many actors that are not working.
Yeah,
And what happened is that they're not working because somebody needs to write those roles.
that's right.
Somebody needs to produce those roles. So we are working very hard trying to connect with these people, the people that have the power to create more work for seniors in the acting business. There are so many, I have met so many actors that I used to look up to, and now I am so lucky that I met them as people. And everybody is super nice. So I would say that Lee Purcell, because she's the chair
Yeah,
of the committee,
he's fantastic.
we
Yeah,
have the right person. She has a lot of experience, and for me to be working with her is a great honor. Uh, I would do anything, and I'm working as much as possible, like all the other members, to try to promote this among the other professional people, the writers, the casting directors, the producers, the directors, that can, if they remember, create more roles
Mm.
in different things. Because, for example, I always play the same role: grandfather or attorney or the drug lord. You know, I
Yeah.
want to play something else. I want to play
Right.
something else. So the people, actors that can play so many different roles, actors and actresses, of course, you know. So
Yes.
I wanted to say that and mention it because maybe, who knows, somebody in the business is listening to it
Yes. Yes.
and see how much we need this.
It's a great opportunity for you as well, and Latino roles being cast is essential
That,
as Latino actors and actresses are there and available, and to be a delegate and to have that narrative be out there, I think is really fantastic. And
that
somebody
is
who
my, I'm sorry, that is my other committee. I became, this is a new committee. They never
at
had
the
it.
National Latino Committee.
The National Latino Committee was created by Fran Drescher, who is
Yes.
our dear president, who we love.
Who
Uh,
people know as the nanny and much more. Yeah.
yes, many more. Now, the Latino Committee tries to have more work for Latinos. There are a lot of Latinos in well, let's say Los Angeles. I'm in Los Angeles, but
Yeah.
it could be anywhere in the United States. Uh, what we're looking for is, if there are any parts that calls for a Latino person, think of a Latino actor, uh, so that it looks more real and is maybe more fair. I don't know if I can use that word.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
need a Latino role, you get a Latino actor. Uh, Sometimes it hasn't happened. Sometimes, and in some cases, there have been very big stars that play Latino. Of course, that was done. It doesn't matter, they did it. But what we would like is to create more work for Latino actors. And of course, I am Latino, I'm from Argentina, but and I speak Spanish. I do commercials in Spanish. Uh, so Latino is not just Mexican or Cuba or Argentine. It's Latin Americans. There's a lot of countries, and we have people from all over. In our group, we have, in our members of the National Committee, we have people from different countries. So Venezuela, Mexico, Argentina, Chile. We also are a mixture, like a fruit salad.
Right. Exactly. Well,
So I'm
you know what?
also I'm also working, trying this, and I really enjoy my work
Yes.
with the union. I really, really enjoy it, and anything that I can do
To help along.
to help other actors, I will do it, of course.
That's so fantastic. There really is on so many different levels too. It's a great, great, great organization, this committee, and I do want to make mention that it advocates for full equity and inclusion for Latino performers and broadcasters in the English and Spanish language entertainment and media industries. The committee works to
Yes.
increase employment opportunities, ensure that
Yes.
portrayals of Latinos are authentic, diverse, and intersectional. You
Yes.
aim to empower the membership and expand the representation of Latinos as an integral part of the American scene. That's
Yes.
fantastic.
Very much. We are aware of that. Yes.
That is beautiful work. It really, really is. So, continued success on that, my friend. Here's something else too that you were in, A House Divided.
A House Divided was something really fun to do because I play a detective, and the guy that you see on the screen is one of the main leads. There is another gentleman that's not in the picture that I worked in 2 episodes, and they were accused, I think, at the time of having killed somebody, and I was a detective. And you know how they have also the good detective and the bad detective
Yes.
to play? Well, look at me. Do I look like a bad detective? But I had to be the black detective. Yes. So that was my role. I was a detective interrogating these people, uh, and it was for me it was something nice, fun to do. Uh, I worked with them, and
Yeah.
as a matter of fact, I think I think that they just finished the 5th season.
Yes.
I think so. I know a couple of the people in there that I think they're going to be in another network and another. I don't know if they're going to be in Hulu like they were.
Here's another great project you were involved in, Graduation.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is a really nice group of people because I have worked with them in several projects. The lady on my right, her name is Lynn Newton. She is a genius. She writes, she produces, she directs. And the guy with the glasses is also a director. The two of them work together in many projects, of which I've been very happy, like this one, to work with. They are great to work with. They just finished a TV series that I don't know when or where it's going to be shown, in which I have a part and my wife too. Um, they are very talented people that have won many awards. And whenever they need me, I'm here. Well, they know me.
That's fantastic. So many great projects that you've had an opportunity to be a part of. Why do you love doing this work so much, Ruben?
Um, I always liked acting. I don't know how to explain it, but maybe because I want to be somebody else, and I always play somebody else in a way, because you bring your own feelings and your own personality and some characters that you play. There's always going to be something from you that you bring, but you have to play something different. But maybe that's why, because I get to play somebody else and it's fun. Remember when we were kids? I used to play when I was a kid. I had a sister 2 years younger than me, and she had a lot of girlfriends. So all these little girls would come to my house to play, and they always wanted to play doctor. And I was the only kid in there. So I played the doctor, and they played the nurses. And I remember I was an actor playing doctor. And oh, I did a commercial one time. No, 2 commercials in which I played a doctor, finally. But it's the acting, it's the part that it makes me feel good. I wish I could work more. I tell you something. I don't work as much as I would like to, but I'm free. And if people that know me or know, they want to contact me, they have my agent, or maybe they know me. But acting is acting is my life. I'm gonna do it. One of my favorite actors was Cary Grant. Cary Grant was a great actor that maybe many people didn't think of because he was such a good actor. made it seem easy. He did many comedies, although he did some mystery movies, but in comedies he was fantastic. And that's one thing that I hardly have done. I would like to work in comedies. And I always like Cary Grant, but I follow his career all the time, forever. And you know what he said once? He said once that acting was what he wanted to do. And his dream was, if he ever had to die on a stage. And I don't remember when, but Cary Grant died on a stage once, long time ago, in a theater in Boston. So I think that I would like to play and be an actor until I cannot do it anymore.
That's absolutely a beautiful way to think and a beautiful way to be, my friend, on so many different levels, because you're passionate about it. You love it so much. Here's another show that you're in. Tell us about this.
Oh, this is also the lady that I showed you, Lynn Newton and the other guy. They produce and director. This is a very interesting story. It's a story that takes place in old ancient Egypt. But the people that are in there also, for some way, some reason, end up in the present time. The same group of people. They cross a door that goes from that past to today. And it's the story of what happens with these people that were coming here and the ones that are going back. I don't want to give it away because
this is brand new. Yeah.
Yes, and it's incredible. You should see me, the way I looked. Oh, I liked it with my clothes and the stuff on my face. It's very nice. I really enjoyed it.
That's fantastic. What are some other things you have coming up as well?
Well, right now, more than anything, I'm really involved in the 2 jobs in the union. We are going to have, we're having several meetings coming back soon. Some very important things to decide, things that we have to vote for, things that we have to get together and discuss to see what things are good or not. And this requires a lot of your time. But it's time that I really enjoy. I love doing. I have some offers of some things that including a commercial that I just, a few days ago, I did the audition. But right now I am doing my work with the union because it's something that is coming very soon. And I'm really looking forward to.
You know who's also watching is our friend Chris Corman, of course, son of Harvey Korman. And he had asked, yeah, Chris he's a sweetheart of a guy and
I want to tell you something.
Good friend of yours and of mine, and he loves our show. And
well, you know how we were talking about good people, nice people? Well, he should be at the top. We should make a little statue that looks like him. He is a fantastic person, good heart, nice. What can I tell you about him? My wife and I really respect him and love him. And he has been very generous. Very generous with his time.
How did you guys meet?
Huh?
How did you guys meet?
Let me see. How did we meet? I don't remember how we met. Chris,
you just remember that it's a great experience, right?
Tonight, maybe, Chris, you and I talk, and you said, "Don't you remember?"
Yes, don't you remember how we met? Right, yeah. Exactly. Well, the key is that you did.
Oh yes, I was very lucky to meet him. He's wonderful.
Yeah,
and of course, I loved his father. I grew up
Harvey Korman.
I grew up with Harvey Korman. My God, talk about geniuses of the comedy. Oh, yes.
Incredible stuff. So
Those
you
were the
like
days.
comedy. If comedy came your way, like a sitcom, well, you have Modern Family and you've had an opportunity to be in some other types of things like that, but you do want to test more comedy, huh?
Oh, I would love to. Yes, I do. People don't think. My wife tell me that I always look so serious. She says, when you're standing in the corner, you look so serious. People think that you're upset.
Like
See,
this guy.
he says, why don't you smile? And I said, well, am I going to walk the streets with a smile on my face so
Well,
people
there you
know
go.
that I'm a nice guy? But yes, that's me. That's my real me. I'm a nice guy, and I think that looks like a nice guy. And I like comedy, but I don't get booked for comedies. I did when I was young, uh, very young, when I was a teenager in Argentina. I also did radio. They had radio shows, and I was very young, but my voice was not the voice of a young kid, so they used me. Um, so I I wish I could do anything to do with comedy because we used to do comedies. I don't remember if I done any comedy lately or for quite a while, and I enjoy it. I really do. That would be nice. So if somebody has a comedy and they need me to audition, I'll give you my phone.
Exactly. What are some other things you have coming up you're excited about, Ruben, that you might want to share?
Well, uh, some I don't know if I can share. Okay, let's see. There is the only thing that I can tell you right now is that we're working. It's not something that is a done deal. But I think whoever brought it up, it was a great idea. I'm all for it. I'm working towards it. Uh, in our senior committee, we would like to find a way to reward some some of the people that do what we want them to do, that are already doing it. People that are using other actors of a certain age, uh, producers, director, casting directors, showrunners. Uh, and it came to my mind, and I don't mind saying it because, well, now they're off the air. But there were two shows. One was with Alan Arkin and Michael Douglas, in which they played two senior of a certain age that are, one is trying to make a living with acting, the other one writing and musician. And whoever wrote all those episodes and produced them, that's what the person did. Then the other show, because I'm telling you, I watch those shows. That's how I know about it. But maybe there are others, and maybe they could contact me and see if we can look into them. But there was a show with Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin, who was there on the air for 7 or 8 years. And because of being of a certain age, they had people of a certain age in all kinds of roles, every single episode, year after year. So, wow, look at what they did. This is wonderful. So,
It
I
was
hope we have,
Gracie and Frankie.
yes, that's it. I couldn't remember the name. That's correct. That was a very good example of what we're talking about. So, I hope that maybe through this medium, some of the people that have the power to do this, writers and people that are creating stories where they can use those people. So to me, I'm working on that right now and trying to create some way that we can reward these people because they deserve it.
Absolutely. You know, what's so beautiful is how you're so giving and so cognizant of others and sort of helping facilitate others' passions and dreams and desires as you're fulfilling your own, which I think is really, really a beautiful thing about you, Ruben. And I think again why so many, when you first came to America from beautiful Argentina, from South America, people welcomed you early on because they saw a spirit a passion, a heart that was on the sleeve and authentic, and people wanted to be around that. They know that you're giving 110%, you're all in, you care, you want everything to work out well for everybody. And, you're striving for excellence along the way in the various shapes and forms of acting and producing, and of course the singing and everything else. And
I
I
have.
wish,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
no,
I,
I think it's fantastic.
I
I
just
hope.
thought. I just thought of something that I say that I'm very lucky. I'm luckier than most people because one thing that I always wanted to when I was young is to find a girl that I could fall in love with, and that we would live happily ever after, like the movies that I used to go see. And I have to confess something. Once, long time ago, when I first started going to college, I wanted to get a good grade in a class so that I could transfer to UCLA. So I took Spanish 1. And the teacher said to me, "You speak Spanish. Your name is Ruben Gomez. What are you doing in my class?" He says, "I know why you're here." He says, "If you want to stay in my class, you're going to have to help me correct papers or you cannot stay." Well, he didn't know that the reason I wanted to stay was because of a girl that I had seen in the class. And it took me a while to convince this girl, believe me, to go out with me. She was very, very young, her first semester of college, and she runs into me, poor thing. But I asked her to marry me 2 weeks after I met her. And she told me, well, she said, "It's not that I don't like you, or I love you, but I'm young. I want to have a life. I wanted to move out in my own apartment and have my own life. Not yet. I'm not ready yet. I want you to wait a little bit." And I said, "Okay." So I was very patient. I waited a couple of months. So I asked her again. She says, "No, I want you to wait longer than 2 months, not 2 months." And I said, "How long?" She says, "I don't know." So we dated for 4 years. She didn't date anybody else, and I didn't anybody else. We were very happy in school, graduating. We went to UCLA, graduated. My wife is a writer, an actress, a director. We are in the same business. I am lucky that at home I can talk to my wife about everything that's going on, and she understands, and we can discuss, and she supports me, and I support her. That is such a plus for somebody in our business. And I am the happiest man in the world that I found this woman and that she's still with me. So I just wanted to say that because that's the culmination of me calling myself lucky. Although my best friend, who unfortunately passed away 3 years ago, used to tell me, "Ruben, it's not luck. It's you create your own luck." Okay, so that's what I wanted to tell you. That Alana Delaney, besides being a good actress and a good director, she's an incredible human being, an incredible soulmate.
That's a beautiful thing to say. And if she's listening, she's probably got a box of Kleenex next to her right now as well. And she probably says all the same things back about you, Ruben, I don't doubt.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's rare when that happens in life. So you're both blessed and both lucky, and you're doing work that you love to do and share it with the world. Somebody else that did that as well, who always stops by our show, Ruben, Mr. George Burns is here. There he is with his
George,
cigar and
I love
his
George.
yeah, my aunt collected dolls. I mentioned this on each show for people who tune in. And if they're tuning in for the first time, they may be like, why is he holding a George Burns doll? My Aunt Lillian collected dolls, major collector, a very expensive, very beautiful, crafted collection of dolls for years collected. One of my mother's sisters. And this got passed down to me. And I showed him once on the show when we were talking about nostalgic and TV shows and childhood memories and things. So I put him on, and the audience fell in love with him. And now he's part of the show with his cigar, his red pocket square. He hangs down below with his martini. I call him an associate producer. And he said he's absolutely thoroughly loved this conversation, and he wishes you nothing but continued success and joy in your
Thank
life.
you.
And he's admired your work as much as you have admired his. And that is from George Burns, who you may remember played God in the movies too, the old
Yes,
God
yes,
movies too. You've
yes. I
got God
remember.
on your side too, Ruben. Not too
Oh,
shabby.
I told you I'm a lucky guy. See? Thank you.
It
And thank
always
you,
puts.
Jim. Thank you so
Oh,
much for having me. I want
I
to tell you I had a lot of fun today.
we'll be back with you in a minute, George. Okay. People laugh when they see the George pop up like that. You're fantastic, Ruben. Really, this was
Thank you.
and
Thank you
and
so much.
what I say about our series is there are no pre-prepared questions. There's nothing scripted. There's no teleprompter. It's a conversation, not even really a quote interview where we just talk about the book and the movie and the CD release. It's a conversation, and with all of those things, other little nuggets weaved in there as well. And people learn about you and me and themselves and all the folks that have been commenting throughout the show from all around the world. We have an international audience. And Merlin in Canada says, you seem to make an awesome couple. John Ortiz says, beautiful story. Maureen, one of our regular lovities as well. Thank you for sharing the story of your incredible life, Ruben. Please come back soon. She's in Arizona. Merlin also says, thanks, Ruben. You have been a real pleasure. Christine Clifton in North Carolina says, thanks, Jim, for this beautiful conversation with Ruben. Enjoyed learning more of his career. Ruben's talented, kind, and passionate human. Loved Ruben singing for us as well. Glad he's a new lovety. Colin says, good podcast method. Well, you know what it is? Being a TV and radio guy, I call it a broadcast. So to that old school, because I know everybody
Yes,
uses the word
sure.
podcast, but to me,
Yeah.
it's like a television show. So I call it a broadcast. But I appreciate that, Colin. I have done a lot of shows myself about my work, and this one was smooth. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Using some of that TV background, I guess, to my advantage. Great comments. You got hearts coming in from Kathleen in New York City, and everybody that's been commenting throughout the evening. John says, "Beautiful show, great show, Jim. Thanks, Jim Masters. Thank you, sharing. Thank you very much, John, and everybody." What are You mentioned a few before we go, my friend. What are some other blessings and joys in your life that keep you propelled forward? And if you were to talk to the younger Ruben that came over and took that shot and left his home country to come to America to seek the American dream, not knowing what would happen with $5 that, you know, ended up being spent on the whiskey, but you had no control of that.
No, I didn't.
No control of that. Um, what would you say to the Ruben of then? What would the Ruben of today say?
I think that I would tell him to be very patient. Be patient because when you really, really want something, you have to work very hard at it. But somehow or other, if you are persistent, you get it. And I would like to leave with the words that I copied from somebody. I read them long time ago, and I use them all the time. Once upon a time, a man named Winston Churchill went to a university to give the commencement speech, and they expected a very long speech because he was who he was. And he went and he said, remember, never give up. Never, never, never. That's what I like to tell people.
Never give up. Absolutely right. And never give up on yourself. You have to love yourself in order to love others. And sometimes it takes time to learn that, especially, and
Yes,
we've talked about that a lot on our show, that if
yes,
you're a giving person, if you're thinking of others first, which my family, we're always like that. We're always looking out for others and making sure everybody else has what they need. And then we'll look at what we need. But then you create, as time goes on, you realize you have to make sure that you fill your cup too, so then you can help others fill theirs. And
That's true. So true.
that's so incredibly important. I hope you enjoyed the time with me and the show met whatever expectations you had, and that you had as grand a time with me as much as I have with you, Ruben.
I want to tell you something. I love you, man. You are really good at what you do. I really enjoyed myself very, very much. This was like visiting a friend, a conversation. At least for me, that's how I felt, how I feel. And now I know and I understand why you are so successful because of the way you are. And continue to be like that. You're a young guy and you have many years ahead of you, but you already, I think you know the secret. You know the secret of being the way you are. And I had a great time. And I hope I didn't get people boring with all my stories.
Not at
Uh,
all.
and sometimes I don't know. I think I like to talk maybe too much.
It's fantastic. No, you've met your match here, that's for sure.
So I hope for your audience that it was fun, it was good, and that they felt like I did. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. I will never forget this day.
Oh, as I won't as well. And you're always welcome back. So definitely, keep us posted on everything that's going on. Let's definitely stay in touch. We have all of our contact information. Lynn is welcome to stop by if she'd like to be a guest. And of course, we send our love to our friend Chris Corman as well, who is a real gem of a guy. He's the best, and we appreciate him, supporting and watching and suggesting. He's absolutely fantastic, and it's really, really cool. Kathleen Walker says, "Thank you, Jim and Ruben. Great show. Thank you very much. I appreciate that as well." And Merlin in Canada says, "Truly enjoyed you." She's in Ontario, Canada. Maureen says in Arizona, USA, "Boring? No way. Ruben, I enjoyed every single minute. You're a wonderful human."
Oh, sweet.
And John Ortiz, "Great to see Robert Gomez doing well." And Lynn, "God bless and loved your stories." Ms. Pat in Texas, "Wonderful having Ruben as a guest, Jim. Good night, everyone, and God bless." Yes, we send that to everybody watching around the world. Really beautiful. And Uniclaire says hello, watching from the Philippines. We welcome her as well. And Jane watching in Sweden, and everybody else from around the world. Thank you, gang. We love it. And Erica Freebird has been watching throughout. And Ruben is an angel. She says, "You're an
Oh,
angel." Erica Freebird. Yes, that's right. She's been watching and commenting throughout. We welcome her to the Jim Masters show.
that
And
girl is an
yeah.
angel.
So have you worked together? You know each other? You've worked?
Yes.
That's
Erica
fantastic.
and I go way back. Erica and I did a music video when I first started. And if anybody would like to see 4 or 5 of my videos, music videos, they are in YouTube under Ruben Roberto.
Is one called Good Love?
Uh,
Because I think Merlin said she watched that and loved it.
okay, the name of this one is Amor y Marimba. Well, Amor y Marimbas is one. They all have the word love somewhere.
Yes.
And I have 4 or 5 that are really, really good. So I worked with Erika when she was first starting and when I first started. We did a video together. So you can see her too.
That's fantastic. That's wonderful, Ruben. Chris Corman had asked, before we go, Ruben, what actor influenced you the most growing up?
Well, I have to confess this. I already think I gave you an idea. But nowadays, I don't have anybody really, but I think of this actor because I always liked him. I liked his acting. I loved Cary Grant. Cary Grant did
You
a lot of
mentioned
movies,
him. Yeah.
a lot of movies, and
Fabulous.
he was always a good actor. But I don't think he was appreciated that much because he could do anything.
Right.
You know, he was a good-looking guy. And I have to tell you something. When I was a teenager, I went and I bought the suit, the shirt, and the tie that he wore in Affair to Remember because
Did
I
you
wanted to
really?
look like him.
That's it. Hey, everybody does that, right? I mean,
Yes.
if you're going to look like somebody looking like Cary Grant, that's not too shabby a choice at all, Ruben.
Well, I don't know if we
That's a
looked alike, but I
that's
wanted to.
somebody else who's a dear friend of mine. He's a spectacular performer. He was a guest on our show, and he's coming back real soon. Pepe Castro is watching, and he goes, "Hey, masterful," and he calls me masterful for Jim Masters and Ruben. Two cool, lovable gems. Hey, Pepe, so nice to have you here. He's a brilliant singer and musician and
Yes,
songwriter and performer. Pepe, really,
Pepe's Pepe's a really, really
you
nice
know
guy.
Pepe, right? Yeah.
Yes, yes, I know him.
He's
He's
fantastic.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's a I know him personally,
oh yeah.
off the air, but he was also a guest on the show and he's coming on again real soon. You got some smiles coming from the Philippines from Uniclaire and really, really beautiful stuff. You're a gem of a guy, and we really appreciate your stopping by. I hope you'll spread the word about the Jim Masters Show live series, Ruben. That
Oh
would be
yes.
a pleasure. And I wish you and Lynn and all nothing but continued blessings and joy. And as I always say to everybody, we will keep the porch light on for you. You're welcome back to stop by anytime and keep me posted on all the wonderful things you have happening.
Thank you. And I want to wish you the very, very best health and happiness.
Thank you very much, Ruben. We really, really appreciate that. And right back at you, my friend. You take care and be well, okay?
Thank you. Bye, guys.
You have a wonderful
Bye.
rest of your day. And thanks for stopping by the Jim Masters Show. You're now a
Thank,
lovety. Pretty cool, huh? Good way to wrap as a lovety.
thank you, guys.
You take care, Ruben. Be
Thank you.
well.
Bye.
Gracias. Ruben Roberto Gomez, actor, producer, singer extraordinaire, stopping by in a very heartfelt and warm and easy conversation. He normally does not do interviews or conversations. So this was rare, this was exclusive, and this was quite special. As I've mentioned, you've seen him in some of your favorite TV series, wonderful movies. Worked on some really incredible shorts as well. Great singer, producer, and there's so many cool things that he's working on. A few things he couldn't say that are coming out. There's commercials and other projects that are coming out as well. And we're just very excited to have him here, and we really appreciate it. And of course, everybody watching is welcomed. A lot of new folks joining us. Erica joining us as well, and Colin and John. And John says he'll share, let people know about our series. Thank you very much. I appreciate it as well. The links to all of our episodes, you can share the links on social media. And then when people click on the link, it'll bring them back to our YouTube channel so they can watch all the episodes on our YouTube channel. Matter of fact, there are hundreds of episodes, including this one here. If you joined us late and you'd like to see this episode again, or you missed a little bit, maybe you came in the middle part, you can see this episode and hundreds more of the Jim Masters Show live entertainment lifestyle celebrity talk show series right here on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. If you enjoyed this episode, we encourage you to do something easy breezy but special and really helps us grow, and that is give a thumbs up. There's a thumbs up icon right there on the YouTube channel by this episode and all the episodes. Click the thumbs up sign, let us know you enjoyed it, and leave a comment on the YouTube channel as well underneath the episode. You've been commenting in the JMS Lovity chat room, and we really appreciate that. Also, leave a comment on the YouTube channel underneath the episode as well. That helps us out, lets us know you're enjoying the episodes, what you enjoy about them, and it also helps us grow which we've been doing exponentially. It's amazing how many people continue to discover the Jim Masters Show, and welcome everybody from all around the world. You're all welcome to join us, regardless of where you live or how tall or short you are, how much money you have in the bank, or anything. Everybody is welcome to join us here. It's a free and open broadcast that we do with entertainment, levity, and all the fun stuff that we have here. John Ortiz says, I will be passing the word about Jim Masters Show, and thank you for being with us as well. John Ortiz, welcome to, you're now part of the Levity family. Everybody here joining us, part of the Levity family. Uniclaire, who's watching in the Philippines, says, wow, you're so lucky for bringing him to your show. I really appreciate that. And good to see you there. I hope you're having a beautiful day in the Philippines, Uniclaire. We love when you're here. John Ortiz, thank you very much. And Kathleen in New York City, thank you, Jim. Have a great night. Now eat and relax. Good night, all. You too as well. And Maureen says, thank you for that. John, the more levities, the better. Absolutely. Beautiful stuff. You guys are great. Thanks for all the great comments, all the levity, and really, really nice. Christine Clifton in North Carolina, levity. Christine says, Jim, thanks for this enjoyable conversation with Ruben. His speaking and singing voice was wonderful. Special evening in Levity Hall. Good night, Jim, and levities to you as well. We have a wonderful weekend of guests coming up as well. I just want to let you know real quick that coming up tomorrow, we have Sam Lowe. That's right. We've been really looking forward to this. Sam Lowe, country music singer and songwriter, is going to be with us tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. So hope you'll join us then, and many, many more guests coming up on the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Celebrity Talk Show Series. We thank Ruben Roberto Gomez joining us, very popular, award-winning film, television actor, producer, and singer. A great guy, again, in some of your favorite series on television, films, and lots more. And just a great guy with a great heart. And we appreciate him stopping by. And we appreciate you stopping by Levity Hall and JMS right here with all of you. Hope everything's going well. Hope you guys are having a good day wherever you're watching around the world. And hope things are going well. Hope your new year has started off nice. We say, of course, we send our love to the family of Lisa Marie Presley, who passed away, unfortunately, at the age of 54, very young age, the daughter of music legend Elvis Presley and also Priscilla Presley. We send our condolences to the Presley family from me and all of us here at the Jim Masters Show. And yeah, so many beautiful souls out there, and all of you are in that mix of beautiful souls. Thanks for being with us, everybody. Stay tuned for more great episodes. And I love that. And you are a levity in our family. Thank you, John Ortiz. I like to be in your levity family as well. And he goes, you got it. Thank you very much for discovering our show and being here. And for all of our regular levities, we love when you're here as well. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe to our YouTube channel, it doesn't cost anything. All you need to do is hit that button on the YouTube channel that says subscribe. It's easy, it's breezy, it's free, and that means you're a part of the JMS Levity family here at Levity Hall. This is your host, Jim Masters. We don't say goodbye around here. We say, see you later. Ciao, cheers, buenas noches. We say hasta la vista. We say sayonara, avida zane, moi loop, slancha, cheers, ciao, cheerio. Take care and be well. And also, we'll throw this in tonight. It was sort of a nice, chill conversation. Don't forget to relax, RELAX. Relax, breathe, take care of one another, love one another, and don't forget to love yourself. Thanks for all the love you send our way with all the wonderful messages, the tweets, the Instagram posts, the Facebook messages, and all the kindness that you send our way, the gifts, the cards, and the beautiful words celebrating what we're doing here. And we're coming up on almost 3 years and almost 1,000 episodes. We have thousands and thousands of views every day. Lots of new subscribers who have been joining us, and one by one, They're doing it on their own. And we welcome you. If you've subscribed to our series recently, thank you very much. If you've been with us from the beginning, we thank you as well. We love you all. And Colin says, well, first, Jane says, thanks, Ruben, for being here tonight. Such an interesting life story you have shared. Thank you, Jim. The pleasure is all mine. And Colin, who's new with us here, we welcome him to join us anytime. Great show, my man. Thank you, Colin, as well. And I appreciate that. John says, very well put. Thank you. Appreciate that. Chris Corman says, Ruben, you're such a joy to listen to Jim, and thanks for booking Ruben on the show. Chris, thank you very much. Chris, you are definitely a Jim Masters Show lovity through and through. Absolutely, Chris. We lovity Chris Corman in many ways, and cool stuff. And again, thank you very much. You're going to pass the word about the Jim Masters Show. We appreciate you doing that. And everybody else is passing through a few of these comments here. And thank you very much. Beautiful show. I appreciate that. All right. That's what we do here at the Jim Masters Show. We do entertainment, we do lifestyle, we do variety, we do talk, we do it all. And every show is something unique and different. We thank you for stopping by. If this was your first time, we welcome you. If this is your millionth time, thanks for being here, for your longevity and your loyalty. Really, really nice. All right, we're going to scoot off, but we'll be back tomorrow right here for you with another great episode. Now, if you can't wait till tomorrow and you want to watch more episodes, go back in the archives on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV on YouTube. There are hundreds and hundreds that you can enjoy and peruse and binge watch. Thanks, gang. We love you all. This is your host, Jim Masters. Thank you for your time this time till next time. For all of us here, thanks for watching the Jim Masters Show Live. We love you all, wherever you're watching around the world, whatever time of morning, noon, or night it is. It's a pleasure, and we value having you with us on JMS. Take care and be well. Till the next one. Take care. Cheers.